Hey there everyone. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to do our final graph for the Safe Water Drinkers assignment, which is figuring out the prices of different water sources based on pipe treatments. So there's a couple things you have to know in order to do this graph correctly. First, you have to know how far away the sources are from your city council. You need those distances because you need that to calculate the prices. So when you're calculating your prices, once you have your distance, for instance, Eagles Nest Lake is 5 miles away, then I'm going to take that mileage and I'm going to multiply it by 20,000. So that's how I got all of these numbers in this column, as I did 12 times 20, I did 18 times 20, and I did 8 times 20,000. So after multiplying it by 20, I just added 3 zeros. So that's just basic math. I'm going to show you a quick trick here in case you're wondering, Ms. Burke, do I have to have my calculator out? If you're comfortable using your phone as a calculator or you want to use another app, you certainly can. But the cool thing about Google Sheets is it also will calculate things for you. So if I'm trying to figure out in this cell what my answer is going to be, then what I can do is I can go up to the toolbar, I can hit equal sign, so this is up in the formula bar up top, and I can type in 5, which represents my mileage, an asterisk, which is above my 8, that just tells me it's multiplication, and then I'm going to multiply it by 30,000, because in this column, it's supposed to be miles times 30,000. So the important part for this to work is you can't use you can't use any commas in this box. If you use any commas, it's not going to allow that to work because this is a mathematical function. So as long as I leave it 5 times 3,000 or 30,000 and I hit enter, it's going to calculate that for me. I don't actually have to plug it in my calculator. It's just, boom, it's there. And for my next one, there's a couple different routes I can go. I can manually put it in like last time. So I can go equal sign, I take 12 because that's my mileage for Lake Vermilion, and then I multiply it by 30,000. And then it'll do the math for me. Another cool thing about Google Sheets is you can go down to the corner of a box and you can see that my cursor changed from being like a mouse to a plus sign. What that does is it adds that formula to the other boxes and it'll drag it down. So if I do that, first of all, it's just going to copy the same formula, which is why the number is the same. But if I go up to my toolbar, all the way up here, and it says 12 times 30,000, I can just change this 12 to an 18 and hit enter, and then it'll do that for me. For this bottom one, oh, my toolbar says it's 12 times 30,000. That's not what I want. I can just erase that and put 8, and boom, it calculates it for me. So Google Sheets has a ton of awesome features when it comes to mathematical functions. We'll talk about that in future videos, don't worry. Once you have all of the data in your data table, you need to double check and make sure there are no commas and no dollar signs in those cells. If you have commas or dollar signs, it's not gonna graph. So don't waste your time. Make sure it's just numbers, just quantitative data. And then once you're done with that, you're gonna do the same thing we did with all of the other videos. You're gonna highlight the whole data table and you're going to go up to insert and you're going to insert a chart. Once you insert your chart, it's going to have all of these wonderful things here for you to play with. You can see that we have our vertical axis is missing its axis title, so you're going to want to fix that. We're going to want to fix our regular title for sure as well. And if we look at the bottom, I can now see that my titles now have numbers in them, which is not really what I wanted. So if that happens, if you have numbers in your title, you can just click off your graph, and I'm going to remove these numbers, because I think it makes for a much cleaner graph to not have those distances there. Yeah. Now if I select my graph again, yay, that looks way better. It just has my water sources at the bottom. Now, there are still things I need to change. So if at any time you click off your graph and you want to edit it, hit the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner. Once you hit that, it's going to allow you to edit your chart, delete your chart, publish your chart. There's so many things you can do. I need to edit it still. So the looks of my chart is fine. It is a column chart. I'm going to go to Customize, Chart Style. Again, I like the 3D model, which is why I'm doing that. My chart and axis title is something I need to change. So my vertical axis title is like it's gone. It's missing. So this is going to be pipe pricing, right? And it's going to be in dollars. Yeah. So that's telling me that all of these numbers are representing dollars. That's how expensive it is. I'm going to bold and italicize. I'm going to go to my horizontal axis, bold and italicize. I'm going to go to my chart title. And I'm going to change this chart title so that it matches the actual title of my data table. So I'm going to bring this down, and it says prices of different water sources based on pipe treatments. So that's what I want for this title. Prices of different water sources based on pipe treatments. Boom. Let's take a look. Now this looks great. Yeah. So I've got my titles, I've got my graph, I've got my chart title here. The only thing that I recommend changing is if these colors match the exact same colors as your other graphs, you're going to want to change it so that it stands out a little bit more, so that people who are looking at your graphs know that we're looking at something different. The way that you do that is you go to series, and instead of apply to all series, we're going to do one at a time. Now I already used blue in my very first graph, so I'm going to change this, and anything you want, I'm just going to pick orange because I think that looks fun. And then I actually haven't used red yet, so I can keep red. That still kind of stands out. However, those colors are just a little too similar, so I'm going to make my red a little bit deeper. I actually want more blood red. Yeah. So now it's pretty easy to interpret, and I can compare these things for when I do my project proposal for the city council. Yay for making graphs. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope this was helpful.